Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Hey, I thought it was interesting, right? I came across a post that was talking about Brian Custer. Now, we all know Brian Custer. He's definitely sports related, but in particular boxing related. But in the article, it was talking about how Brian Custer was fighting to end the stigma around prostate cancer. And I was like, whoa, does he have cancer? Because any and everyone, if you're a boxing fanatic, right? Or if you just like boxing, even as a casual, you know who the hell Brian Custer is. So I start to panic a little bit, because I'm like, whoa, this is news, like there's so much going on in the world and with athletes and people and even in our own personal lives, immediate family, extended family. I was like, damn, I would have hated to hear that, something was going on with him. But anyway, the article went on to talk about something that he had experienced with prostate cancer, actually 10 years ago. And what it was saying is just talking about him, how he's become a recognizable face and voice as a host of Showtime Championship Boxing. In particular, we all know him from a lot of the press conferences, the broadcasts, and really being part of the biggest bouts that we've ever seen. But this is the thing. He actually celebrated this year, turning 52, the 10th anniversary of his surgery for prostate cancer, which, just to let you guys know, he has beaten it for those who may have that question. But since, going through that ordeal, he made it his personal mission to raise awareness and funds about prostate cancer, becoming one of the most prominent, outspoken individuals to champion the cause. Now, this is the thing that I wanted to foot stomp. When it comes to him, right? 10 years ago, he didn't even know anything about prostate cancer. Now, I've heard a lot about prostate cancer because, remember, I'm retired military. I spent 25 years in the Air Force, and always, man, when you're in the military, you got to go to, these PHAs, physical health assessments. You know what I'm saying? And every year, every time you got to go see a doctor, they talk to you about a lot of things. And, they talk to you about cancer, prostate cancer. They talk to you about all kind of stuff. So I was aware of prostate cancer. I know prostate cancer doesn't discriminate. A lot of people think prostate cancer affects older people. And that's one of the misconceptions that Brian Custer had. He felt that this whole thing with prostate cancer affects the elderly. But I tell you what, he learned quickly that it had nothing to do, for the most part, with just age, that it could affect anyone at any given time. And he even went on record and said that he had heard it, but he heard it was like an old person's disease. So anyway, now he and many others recognize that it's affecting guys much younger, and it's on everyone's radar. But he's very happy with what he's doing and playing a small part in just trying to spread awareness and taking things to another level. But for those of you out there outside of skin cancer, which a lot of people don't even know about skin cancer. Skin cancer is a problem too, man. Prostate cancer is the most common type of cancer for men in the United States. Now that's according to the American Cancer Society. So the disease disproportionately affects African American men, who are 1.7 times more likely to be diagnosed and 2.1 more times more likely to die from the disease. So this is something that you got to take serious. But with Brian Custer, look, he's out here, he's spreading the word. He said when he first got the diagnosis, they told him what it was, and he was just like, look, there's no way in the world I can get it. That's stuff that, grandfathers get. And he said he was just dumbfounded. And he looked at, some of the side effects of the disease, and he just didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to come out there and talk to the world about what he had. I mean, he's a guy who feels that, he's a man. There's a certain amount of machismo there. This would make him look less than a man. And at the end of the day, he just didn't want anyone to know. But his oncologist kind of, persuaded him, look, you got to go out there and you got to talk about it. Use your platform to spread the word, because there are a lot of people who aren't aware of it, aren't getting checked for different things. And by the time they figure out that they have it, it's too late. So I just have to applaud Brian Custer for, deciding to champion the cause and spread awareness. And, I'd have to applaud anybody who's doing that for anything that could possibly save a life or change the direction of someone's life. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that I think there's an obligation, especially when you're in a position like Brian Custer that can affect so many people. And this is a man thing, but of course it disproportionately affects a lot of the African American males, but it affects everyone. So anyway, he decided to embark on the endeavor, and that's what he's been doing ever since. This was the 10th year, the 10th anniversary, and he just wants to make sure that he's putting the word out. And I thought that was interesting because I had no idea. I didn't even know this man. This man, he doesn't share anything about his personal life. You see pictures of his kids down there, his 3 sons. So he actually is taking it serious, and I think more people should too. Because I tell you what, when he gives that story about how he had surgery and he had tubes all in him, and he went on to say they cut you. You get 6 cuts on your stomach when you have prostate cancer surgery. He says he remembered that night when he was in the hospital by himself, and that was the night he made the decision. He said he thought at that time he's not going to resign with any of his contracts. He was just going to stick with Showtime and do boxing. He wasn't going to get involved with anything else. But he decided, you know what? This sucks. I'm afraid, but I can't let this disease take me down. And that's where he went on, and he said it was at that point in time where he said he's got to do something. And he said that's why he loves the sport of boxing so much. It's really like the theater of life. He said you're going to face some crap in life, and sometimes you're going to get knocked down, or you're just going to lay down on the mat, or you're going to get back up. And I just think this article isn't, the typical stuff that I talk about. I don't know any other boxing channels that talk about these things, but this is boxing related. This affects a lot of people, and Brian Custer, I'd say he's definitely one of our own when it comes to the boxing community, and he has a very entertaining podcast, and he does a great job at commentating and everything else. You could tell a lot of fighters have respect for him. Maybe it's because he's a fighter too. I think he's a black belt in karate or jiu-jitsu or something, but bottom line is he can kick your ass. So I just wanted to bring that to you, man. And I think it's great what he's doing. It deserves to be applauded. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Making sure you guys are getting checked out, whether you're having PHAs or not. Take time from your busy schedules to go and make sure that you guys are in good health, because you don't want to wait till it's too late. I do it twice a year. I get it. I may have more benefits than a lot of people. I could go every single day to a doctor for no charge. You understand? I can get medical treatment for no charge, surgeries for no charge. Okay, so I get it. My situation and the benefits of being a retiree and everything, I get it. It's different for me, where some people, and there's a certain price point on certain procedures, even just for physical things that I paid nothing for. But at the end of the day, I earn that, but I also understand not everybody is in that position. But at the end of the day, no one's gonna love you like you love yourself. Take time, make sure that you're 100%. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.